This year, Topia is presented in three very distinct artistic streams: performance, knowledge and nightlife. The performance program is the beating heart of the festival and includes 33 new works, 18 new commissions and 18 world premieres across theatre, dance, music, every art form that you can think of. Nightlife is a brand new stream for us. It's a late night program of parties, club nights and concerts taking place across the city, where we're also building a brand new club venue, Club 8, at the Theatres building at the Arts Centre. And Knowledge is for the eternally curious. It's a program of artist conversations, Q&A sessions and workshops where artists from across the Asia Pacific share their ideas and teach new creative skills.
I have a bit of a personal relationship with lots of the paintings on this wall. I used to hang out with Gelda when I was in my 20s and she was in her 80s. So I didn't go to art school. I learnt about art by going to museums and reading books, and I learnt about art and making art by hanging out with art. This is a series of prints by American artist Jim Dine. He has drawn flowers all his life. The title of the poem is What Was Told That. What was told that? What was said to the rose that made it open was said to me here in my chest. What was told to the cypress that made it strong and straight? What was whispered the jasmine, so it is what it is. Whatever made sugarcane sweet, whatever was said to the inhabitants of the town of Chigil in Turkestan that makes them so handsome. Whatever lets the pomegranate flower blush like a human face, that is being said to me now. I blush. Whatever put eloquence in language, that's happening here. The great warehouse doors open. I fill with gratitude, chewing a piece of sugar cane, in love with the one to whom every that belongs.
Because I work in found materials, I'm always interested in the things that people are drawn to, that they find pieces of their own life or things they've experienced or had relationship with in the work. And I guess that familiarity and intimacy and nostalgia that's embedded in the work is part of how it functions in terms of breaking down these hierarchies of high and low and of value, and even that hierarchy that the museum sets up between the viewer as a passive observer and the art object as this kind of dynamic text. My work in found materials really stems from my studies at university in archaeology and anthropology, kind of examining the materiality of society and thinking about the kind of values and hierarchies that are embedded in all this junk and trash that seems to surround us all the time. I've had a lot of varied responses to my work over the years, including censorship and scandal, all the way through to like it being taken up in this, really amazing way by communities. And I'm always really interested in humour in my work, which relates to queer culture and drag queens, and this idea of de-escalating the threat of violence and of creating cathartic experience that's kind of democratizing, I guess, across and between forms and images within the work.
Patricia Piccinini is just one of the most interesting, inventive, challenging and ambitious artists working in Australia today.
There is something about experiencing awe in our lives. It's not something that you can experience every day, but when it does happen, it's there to be cherished. And what it can do is it can just like lift you up, like they are up, but it opens up your chest and it opens up your heart and therefore your mind. If you're open-hearted, you're just open to possibilities and what you can do in the world. These works are also chimeras, so that's what I do. I create chimeras. So they're chimeras that are whales, some kind of mammals. There's a lot of humanity in them, but also they talk about how we relate to nature. So whales that live in the sea evolved from mammals that walked on the ground. this work talks about the idea that, well, it went that way, but they could have evolved to go into the sky. And if they had done that, and other mammals evolved to fly in the sky like bats, if they had done that, maybe they could look like this. They could have big pouches of gut bacteria that created gas that would elevate them because it's slightly hotter. Doesn't have to be a lot hotter. Like the air in those balloons is just a few degrees hotter than the outside air. So it's all possible. Well, is it possible? That's the question. You know, for me, it's a mixture of elation and relief. Like, it's like, oh, thank God, because there are all these people here. But at the same time, it's like, it's just beautiful to witness, and it's just a joy to be here with everyone. You know, I really, really care about these performances and the people who turn up at 5 a.m.
To get the Skywhales, which are one of the most unique artworks that are owned by any collection, let alone the National Gallery's collection, to Goulburn for this extremely special event was amazing. You know, and joining in that collective sense of awe and wonder that only a very, very special artwork or art event can do.
I never ever thought I'd be able to connect with people in this way. And it's been a real, real pleasure. I've learnt so much and I really love it.